Hey guys, J-Man here. And today we're going to be talking about some wrestling. As usual, every Tuesday we do this stream talking about the women of wrestling. I've updated my graphic. I've removed Mandy Rose. It was a sad day, but I had to remove Mandy. And I've replaced her with several people. I put a whole bunch of NXT people on there. We're not going to talk about Raw because nothing really happened. It was more of a recap show. They interviewed Bianca and not interviewed, they had Bianca on there and they had Liv Morgan on there. It wasn't talking about anything crazy, just kind of reviewing the past year. So I don't think we'll cover that too much. So it won't be too long today. I've had a long day. I was at a comic show. You can see there's a bunch of comics there that I bought. $500 worth of comic books today. A lot of good ones. And my Game of Thrones, or not my Game of Thrones, what's it called? House of the Dragon. My House of the Dragon 350-page hardcover illustrated book came in. I'm super excited for that. I'm gonna buy the hardcover edition of the book as well, of the actual book. I'm like a couple hundred pages into it, Fire and Blood, and it's just awesome. So, all right. Well, updates this Thursday. We're doing a stream. So Hungry Boy, who is a friend of mine on Twitter, and he's been on Clobberin a bunch of times, and he's the guy in the chat. So we know Hungry Boy. He is going to join Steven and Sean, and we're going to be talking about some horror movies, just kind of the year in horror, but just general stuff as well. So that's going to be this Thursday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern. I did put X on my little thumbnail. I put X. I meant to put Pearl, but I put X. Who cares? It doesn't even matter at this point. It doesn't matter what. No, it doesn't matter what it is. So, anyways, we're going to be talking about horror movies. Next week, we're back to normal schedule. We'll be doing Days of High Adventure, Conan. That'll be Thursday. And then once the new year starts, we're going to do a couple of verses to get those out of the way. And then we're going to start talking about the fantasy verses. Sean and I already discussed a little bit of it today as well, but we're going to get into that. We're going to do a stream to figure out the 8 movies that go on this list, and then we're going to go from there. Ooh, so a lot of stuff. And in the new year, we're going to be doing The Legend of Tarzan. I've got Scott Tracy Griffin coming on, who is the author of a couple of Tarzan books. So I literally got the guy who wrote the book on Tarzan to come on the show. And we're going to talk about The Legend of Tarzan, which kind of was a cool movie, but kind of didn't go anywhere. So we're going to try to discuss and figure out what the hell happened there. All right. So that is the updates. Let's bring in my co-host. Hello.
Hello.
Let's say hey to Joe, who's already here.
Hey,
SmackDown only had the women's gauntlet match. Yep. So we're gonna we'll talk about that. So I was telling you, Steve, before we started, Sean and I went today to the Toronto Comic Book Show, which is a show that we always go to. Today's show was their annual Boxing Week show, and it's free admission. So I took zero video because you can't move. It's like, right? Now, Sean is, we know people haven't seen me in real life, right? So, and like, like my camera is high and it's my camera is actually like a widescreen camera, right? So I'm like my head is touching, yours is on your computer. It's like built into your computer, right?
Right.
So see, yours, you're like that. Now I am taller than you and I'm taller than Sean, but I'm pretty large. So Sean, get behind me. I'm going to get us through this. It's like, I got to like fight through. And the other thing is that I'm not afraid of nerds. It's like, I will beat them up if I need to get to my comics. Listen, everyone knows you're on your own on these shows. You got to get what you got to get. And I got a shitload. They're all here. I got a shitload of West Coast Avengers. and some New Mutant stuff and some Legion of Superheroes, and some Spectacular Spider-Man magazine stuff too. So that video has been posted. But I'll tell you this: while I was there, first time this happened to me. While I was sitting, so Sean and I are sitting there talking about the fantasy verses coming up, and some guy's like standing, he's like standing, kind of looking at us. I'm like, well, what is happening here? So you have to acknowledge him because he's like literally like standing. I was like, hey, how's it going? He's like, you're J-Man from YouTube. I was like, oh my god. I'm like, I am. And he's like, hey, yeah, and he's like, and I know you're your friend, right? And he's like, Sean. He's like, Sean. Yeah. He goes, I watch your guys' comic book coverage on this show. He's like, you're the only guys that cover this show. And then I thought in my head, there is one other guy named Comic Vet. He's pretty good. And he mentioned, he's like, actually, Comic Vet sometimes comes. Like, yeah, Comic Vet too. So then we were talking about that because it's like surreal because you're like, why is this person staring at me? And it's like, oh my god, how's it going? So he's a totally cool guy. He collects a lot of comics. We talked about Spawn comics. He's been collecting Spawn. So we yeah, it was really cool. So it was good to chat with him. He was a totally cool guy. It was awesome. So that was pretty fun.
J-Man, you got a fat following.
Yeah, it was crazy. SmackDown was like, yeah, we're gonna talk. We're gonna break it down. Break it down. Oh, we should have that as our thing. Yeah, so it's so cool. The guy's like, hey, J-Man. I was like, okay. He's like, yeah, I've seen you on YouTube. I'm like, oh, cool. So anyways, so that was pretty fun. So
J-Man, you it's like, oh my gosh, like who are you? Why are you like? Because we're never noticed. Like,
yeah,
J-Man, you're noticed if you have like one of your shirts on. It's like,
sure.
oh,
If you see the tattoos and you see the shirt or something, I'm always wearing something. So you're like, yeah, okay, I know this guy.
But never like, hey, J-Man. It's like, who are you? Like, I don't know you.
Yeah, and literally I'm in like it was minus what 15 or something. So I'm in full winter coat. I don't use I didn't use a hat because I'm inside, but I do wear my gloves. But I had a full winter puffy jacket that the Canadian jacket, and he recognized me. So Sean and I were talking to him. He was a pretty cool guy. So that was kind of fun. Meeting one of the fans.
Wow.
It was so weird. It's just like, yes, he's like, you're on YouTube. I'm like, I am on YouTube. It's like, but
you also like someone watches that? Holy crap!
Yeah. I want to give a shout out to Near Mint Condition, which is a channel that I've been following since their inception. And actually, the guy who runs that channel, Omar, has been a subscriber of mine from like a long time ago, like maybe 10 years. And he started up his channel, which focuses on Marvel and DC collected editions, and that's like the omnibuses and all that. So he goes through them, like reviews, even the manga stuff like Berserk and everything. So his channel has grown so fast, and there's a lot of great content. They do live streams as well. So they kind of contacted him. He contacted me last week and wanted me to contribute a video to the best of 2022. So I gave my opinion on what comic release was the best of 2022, which was Alex Ross's Full Circle Fantastic Four, which is a masterpiece. So he put together a package and put that on his channel. So thanks to Omar and everyone at Near Mint for allowing me to be a part of that. It was really great. And it was just a lot of fun to like connect. It was like it's like an hour and 30-minute video or something of everyone giving their kind of opinions on the best of 2022. So the link to his channel is in my description anyways, but I mean he's got way more subscribers, so it's not helping him out, but it's helping me out. So I appreciate that, buddy. All right. Okay. So a lot of updates there. Now that's so that's out of the way. Let's get right into NXT. And so actually quite a lot happened on NXT. A lot happened.
Yeah, a lot happened.
And SmackDown really was just the one match. And Raw, we're not going to even talk about. I started making notes, but there's really no point in doing it. Plus, I've had a long
Ridiculous.
anyways.
Yeah, the Raw was just a recap, which we've already recapped everything. So there's nothing to recap really.
It's right. It's just like, okay.
Pretty much.
But yeah, really. All right, so we had Nikita.
Yep.
Who is in my thumbnail.
Who would have thought?
Yeah. So it was Nikita versus Zoe. Nikita kind of attacked her right away. That was cool.
Zoe tried to attack her. She got out of the way, which was good. She learned from her.
Yeah.
You always like when they learn.
I do like that. Learning is good.
Learning is good.
There's a couple of bad timed kicks though, I noticed.
Yeah.
Well, but whatever. I mean, and then Zoe, grabbed the ropes and she got the pin, which is
she got the pin,
which is what should happen because she is better.
It should happen because Zoe's the veteran. You're pushing Zoe. If she's going to go over Nikita, she's got to go over cheating because it's hard to dislike Zoe Stark. She comes out and she's this tough girl and she's like, oh, I'm going to hunt everyone. And it's like, yeah, I kind of still like, yeah, I don't know. I'm not buying you as a heel. And then she comes out, attacks Nikita. I'm like, all right, that's heelish. But she's got to keep healing it up for a while because if you don't heal it up, it's just going to be like, nah, Seth Rollins is the poster child for that. He would attack people. They still sang along with his freaking theme song.
Oh, Seth Rollins. I've got a love-hate relationship because it's like I'm tired of them singing that song, but I do like Seth Rollins, so I don't know what to make of that. I'm just kind of like, okay, I guess I'm gonna.
Yeah, I just say I like Seth Rollins and I hate the fans, which is what I usually say. So.
Oh man, the poor fans.
Yeah.
Boom. There's your. Give that.
I generally do it. The fans drive me nuts. What I haven't been hearing a lot of though is the what chant. So I'm glad I'm not hearing that as much.
I think the NXT fans are good. They seem to just be excited to be there.
More or less, yes. More or less. The one thing that they're doing that does annoy me is they do the 50-50 chants, which drives me a little bit nuts, which is what they did with Cena all those years. Let's go Cena. Cena sucks. Let's go Cena. Cena sucks. And this one they're like, let's go Zoe. Let's go Nikita. Let's go Zoe. Let's go.
But both of them are. It's tough because both of them are awesome. And
they are awesome. It is hard to argue it, but like Nikita's starting out. She's 23. Zoe's like 28, 29, somewhere in there. Zoe should be on the main roster to be completely one. I don't know. She doesn't have much left in NXT. Like. What more training does she need?
Yeah, I don't know what the parameters are. Like, maybe it's them to. Like, I don't know if they say, hey, because like NXT's always in that same spot, right?
Right. It's always in.
So I don't know if they're like, hey, listen, if you come on here now, you're going to be traveling. Is that going to be a concern? I don't know.
Yeah. But I mean, Io Shirai, who everyone now calls Io Sky.
Yeah.
Was going to not come back to WWE after she was injured because she wasn't called up to the main roster. So I think that there is still a thought process that NXT is still like that secondary show, and Raw and SmackDown is still the major leagues and
for sure
minor leagues.
Yeah, it's like OHL versus NHL.
Exactly.
Right, like people watch OHL. Like,
it's huge.
Like.
To some people, that is hockey, right?
Yeah, that is true. I've heard some of the hardcore people like, you know what? That's still like the pure,
the pure stuff,
pure hockey. And then I don't watch hockey. I don't care about guys throwing balls and hoops. It's just not. I know that's not hockey. But seriously though, yeah, people are like, yeah, OHL. That's like kind of like the pure hockey.
Yeah,
and NHL is the corrupt destruction of. Just the corruption.
Yeah, it's the corrupt, greedy millionaires club. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So, gee, I hate to be part of that club.
Yeah, kind of wish I had, thrown a baseball or shot a basketball, grown because I'd be super short as a basketball player, or like took skating more seriously, then
I hated skating.
Oh, I didn't skate. I skated on my hands and knees.
I did one skating lesson. This is terrible because we're both Canadian and you can't skate either, right?
Nope.
So yeah, I did one skating lesson. I'm like, why am I on this ice skating when I could be reading comic books at home? This is a complete and utter waste of time. And then people were saying, yeah, but you can't get paid millions of dollars to read comic books. I was like, I beg to differ. And I lost that bet. No one's paying me right now, so I think I may have lost that one.
Oh man, to be a fly on that wall.
If you become a hockey player, you'll get paid millions of dollars. Just do one game, get $1 million, then get injured and never play again, and you're still a millionaire. Yeah, but reading comics is a lot more fun. All right. Then we had a Cora Jade interview. She was talking about Roxanne Perez saying, "Oh, you're lucky," and then Wendy Chu came in and attacked. Now Roxanne Perez was lucky. She was lucky that Mandy Rose got caught in nudie pictures.
Yeah. And A-Train just happened to stumble over them.
And A-Train, right? He just
didn't look for him.
No, yeah. He A-Train was watching Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs on Disney Plus when accidentally nude Mandy Rose pictures appeared. And I know for a fact that's how it happened because that's how it happened for me. That damn Disney Channel, you bastard. So, A-Train sucks. How do you like them apples?
Yeah.
It's like, thanks a lot, A-Train. Hold on. Where's my thanks to A-Train here? I've got a thanks for A-Train right here. Where is it? Here we go.
Screw all of you.
That's for you, A-Train, buddy. Thanks a lot.
Yeah. Thanks for ruining it for the rest of us.
Thanks for ruining it for the rest of us, just because you're watching Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs on Disney Plus, and the Mandy Rose pictures happen to pop up.
Yeah, just totally randomly.
Right.
I don't have to say a lot more.
Cora Jade was right though. Roxanne Perez was lucky that Mandy Rose was gone and all that, and then some woman in her pajamas attacked her, and I'm like, I guess that's Wendy Chu, and sure.
Ha-chu. I'm surprised no one's done that joke.
Oh man.
Oh my god, canceled. Yeah, I don't know what to tell you. She got lucky.
She did get lucky. I mean, I'm not saying and we'll get to that because Booker T and her had that interview.
Yeah.
But everything Cora Jade said was right. I actually want the interview to go on, and then the attack happened. I'm like, oh, this again? No. Let's go back to Cora Jade talking about Roxanne Perez. Because I feel like the match they had, I'm telling you, Double C, I mean, the crap you run into when you're watching Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, I tell you. And he just had to tell Shawn Michaels. I bet he didn't mention the Snow White part. Just finding the nude pictures of Mandy Rose. We know that happened.
Yes.
But the match they had at Halloween Havoc wasn't that great.
Right.
I want to see a better match. And I want Cora Jade to challenge Roxanne Perez for the belt. I don't want her to fight Wendy Chu. I have no interest in the Wendy Chu feud. I want Wendy Chu to go away and be repackaged and come back as a normal human being.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know what to say. I mean, I've got here, I can give her this one.
Make it better. Turn up the good. Turn down the suck. Turn down the suck knob.
Please.
Turn down the suck.
Turn down the suck.
Come on. Hard times for Mandy Rose. Yep. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I mean, Mandy Rose has figured out her career's calling as a nude model.
Now, not that I have investigated this.
No.
But her subscription is now $30 a month. It's got
What? During Snow White, you saw this?
Yes. Well, no, this was during 101 Dalmatians. They're like, if you're enjoying 101 Dalmatians, you could pay $30 a month for Mandy Rose. And I was like, there's no way I'm going to be paying, hold on a second, $30. Oh, yeah, no, never mind. Get that calculator out.
You're like, there's no way I'm paying $50. Oh, 30? Oh.
I will not pay 1 cent over $31. I don't care what. Oh, it's 30? Yeah, that's fine. It's like, well, I don't need to subscribe to all these other things. Like, oh my God.
Well, you got to keep Disney Channel at least, because that's where you find out about this stuff.
Yes.
Hey, J-Man.
Oh my gosh. All right. Then we had Fallon and Kiana and the whole bar thing.
Oh my God.
I mean, this is what is this? The Dukes of Hazzard? This is like a Dukes of Hazzard episode. And I've got all the seasons and the reunion movies and all that. I'm like, this is right out of Dukes of Hazzard. Like, Boss Hogg wants to buy, whatever. Now he already owns the whatever. I can't remember the name of the oh God, I can't remember the place now. Damn it. So he already owns that, but it's just like, what do you want? Like, so then buy the bar. I don't get. If you beat me in this match, I'll give you the bar. Like, why is this happening? Like,
is this like upholdable in the court of law? Like, I've never heard a wrestling match used to handle a dispute with real estate. On
the next, Judge Judy, it's like Kiana James wants a bar, and Fallon Hensley has the bar, and then it's like, Fallon and Kiana, you're fighting tomorrow night. Whoever wins, like, they should do that. That would make Judge Judy a lot better.
That would make Judge Judy a lot better.
I don't even know if that's still on, but the repeats are definitely on. But like, have a ring on the side, and then they can go over to the side and fight it out.
And Judge Judy could be a commentator.
And then Bert is like, 1, 2. Oh no!
It's completely ridiculous.
And you can't piss on hospitality. I won't allow it.
But
yeah. Roscoe P. Coltrane.
Oh God.
Oh my God.
But I want Kiana James's assistant in every show now. Like, I saw her walking, I'm like, oh my God. And then Kiana James walking, I'm like, this is bullshit. Like, this is like, how do you even have this company? Like, this is ridiculous. Okay.
Lawler and
Dundee.
Well, hey Brian, how's it going? No, Fallon's pretty good too. Like,
yeah, I'm like, well, but she's more like, I could believe she would own this bar.
Right.
Right.
Like, what's Kiana James gonna do with this bar?
Yeah, I don't know. Like, it's failing, and Kiana James wants it. I'm like, but it's failing. What are you gonna? I mean, you have a hot assistant. I assume there's more hot women hiding outside the entranceway. They're just like, can we come in yet? No, okay. I haven't bought the bar yet. All right. So I assume they're going to come in, and then patronage will go up, and those two guys with Henley will.
That assistant could just. Her assistant could just stand outside, and like every car will stop. I mean,
yeah. So would mine. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we'll see where this goes. Like, I don't even like.
I to be honest with you, I'm just like, hot women arguing over bar. Like, I don't follow the logic, because other than like when they're like, let's have a match for the bar, which I burst out laughing because I'm like, yeah, that's how it's done in real life. There's matches for bars all the time, but like, other than that, I'm just like, hot women. I'm like, go back to the assistant for a second. We need a better shot of her.
Yeah, what is she always writing down?
Yeah,
you're not writing anything down. Let me see what you wrote down there. You've written.
You need to. I mean, if it's like your notes for that Annie Hall movie, then we know it's nothing.
Yeah, I wrote Annie Hall.
And a bunch of, and the
was
date and a bunch of stars you drew.
Those are my notes. When I was in university, I would have one piece of paper that I folded into 4 and put in my pocket. That was my notes for my university courses, and I'd open it up. I'd be like, "What is this? It's rubbish."
The hilarious thing is, I remember I got a book afterwards about Annie Hall, and they talked about some split screen scene, and you and I swore that wasn't in the movie, and we had just watched it.
Yeah, that didn't happen. It's like, yes, it did. It's like.
We're serious students.
Oh God, I'm the worst student of all time. It's like, oh, you just remind me. I gotta get some Napoleon Dynamite quotes on here for my when he says you have the worst reflexes of all time for.
I'm surprised. Give Me Some Tots hasn't made it yet.
Shit, I know. I think Napoleon Dynamite is actually 10 out of 10.
Yeah, it's genius.
I can't every time I think about that movie, I just start laughing. Okay. Ooh, what
Uncle Rico?
Yeah, oh, Rico's the best. As a horny.
Yeah,
really?
Yeah.
Oh. Okay. Well, that's because he's being surrounded by all these people all the time.
I gotta tell you, I mean, if I was in that bar, I'd have to excuse myself quite a bit.
It's like, sorry, I just gotta go to the bathroom. It's like, well, you've been gone a while. It's like, yeah. And then it's like, Keanu James comes in, it's like, I have to go to the bathroom again. Sorry.
Jeez. Stop. Lock the door. I can't spend the rest of my life in there. Stop bringing in hot women, please.
He has single-handedly supplied all the sperm in the bank.
Yeah. Jeez.
Make it worth your while. Make it worth your while. Then we had a 3-way. Whoa!
What?
Toxic Attraction, Tatum, Paxley, and Ivy Nile, and Kaden and Katana. And Kaden and Katana did win, so they retained the belts. I'm assuming Toxic Attraction is going to be getting the belts sometime soon again. I don't know, because Mandy Rose leaving kind of F's up all of the Toxic Attraction stories, but which we'll get to that. And Ivy, I think Ivy got pinned, right?
Ivy got pinned.
Yeah, Ivy got
pinned. She had her in a wicked. She had I forget which one. I think it was Kiana. It was Carter. She had her in a wicked looking submission move. I looked pretty good.
Yes.
And then she managed to get up on the ropes and flip her over and pinned her that way.
Yeah.
It was decent. The women's champions are, I'm more on their side.
Right.
As things have happened.
Yeah.
Yeah,
they've gotten better. Like, it's like you're more into me too. Like, I wasn't that into them before, but like I'm definitely more into them now.
Yeah, I'm definitely more into them now. Toxic Attraction is polished now. Again, they're another group that I'm like, why are they still in NXT? And then I like Niall, Paxley, whatever, Tatum Paxton or Paxley or whatever.
Paxley, I think.
Tatum Paxley. I'm not sold on her yet. To me, I think she's the jobber of the group. Right. Ivy Nile is way more interesting to me, like her physique and her look. I really like, and she looks like a tough competitor. Yeah. Tatum Paxley is just like a pretty face in S&M gear, as far as I'm concerned right now.
Yeah. So. Not that there's anything wrong with.
There's nothing wrong with that, but when we're talking about the serious stuff, then it's kind of like, yep, kind of. Like when we're talking about like seriously, then it's kind of like,
Right. All right. Then we had the Roxanne Perez interview, and it's like her journey, and it's been a tough journey,
the usual stuff. Booker T was talking about. I guess he trained her, and it was all very nice. But it was very vanilla. I was just like, sure, nice, top face with belt. Her journey there, she won a bunch of things. Owes it to Booker T. Booker T gave her some more advice, and I'm like, sure.
Yeah, it's tough for me to get into those.
No.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Control is boring because they're the only ones they have. They have them. They have Shayna and Ronda and what else? Like they're turning Alexa now. I'm assuming that we'll talk about this, but I'm assuming Lacey Evans is coming back as a heel based on the promos. But they're not doing anything. Like Control has the belts, and there's nothing going on with those belts. Again, NXT is a far superior women's wrestling show right now. They just have so many storylines going and teams and stuff.
Yeah, like I love Bailey and I like Damage Control, but like the thing is that I'm telling you, I don't think those two. I don't think that's what we said this before. Damage Control needs to be. I think they need to be tougher. It should have been Bailey with Raquel and one other like Rhea. Man, it should have been Rhea Ripley, Raquel, and Bailey. That would be pretty killer. And then Bailey's the brains, and then it's just two big, like tough chicks.
Yeah.
And it's like Bailey can, literally control what's going on because those two, they are cool. I like both of them, but I'm not like, oh man, like, yeah, hell yeah. You know what I mean?
No,
like, I'm not there yet for that.
They're fine, but they're not good enough that I should be seeing them every single week, every single show. Like it's enough. Like it's like, and especially with Bailey losing to Bianca several times now. Like they lost War Games. So it's kind of like a lot of the credibility is lost because you said they control the women's division, and other than the tag team championships, which is a secondary championship, not sorry, they don't have the main one, so they don't control the division. Bianca Belair controls Raw, and Ronda Rousey controls SmackDown.
And Ronda and Shayna are controlling it. They're kicking the shit out of everybody.
Yeah.
Like it or not, at least in the story, forget about, we'll get to SmackDown, but forget about what you think of the ability. Oh, Shayna's a bit stiff. Ronda's got ring rust or she's not as polished. It doesn't matter. The storyline is helping them. Like they're beating the crap out of people. Raquel's like, I'm going to do it. Oh yeah. Smash her up, beat her up. We're like, okay, beat up Shotzi. So it's beat up all, they're bullies. They're going around kicking the shit. They're making fun of people. They're making fun of Liv Morgan. Okay. So you know what? It doesn't, the storyline supports them being badass. Whether they've got the skills or they need polishing, that's a different thing. But the story is not helping the Damage Control. Like it's like they should just just be meaner, kick the crap out of people. But Io Sky and Dakota Kai aren't those people.
Too cute.
They're cute, right? Dakota Kai is super cute. Okay. Yeah. And it's like, she can't be, she's trying to be mean. I'm like, but you're so cute. You have your pink hair and everything. And I'm like, she's like a Funko Pop.
Yeah.
It's like, even Io Sky, it's like, look, any Japanese girl that, that's got like the kind of the hair and the bangs, they're all cute. It's just not happening. It's like, hi, Io. It's like, oh, I mean, it's like, no, you're not. No, but I am. No, you're not. It's like, and like Dakota Kai and her faces and her expressions are the absolute best. I'm like, you're awesome. You're so funny. She's like, what? Oh. And it's like, no, she's just too cute. They're too cute to be like Bailey could be mean, and at least she can go on the mic and make fun of people and be like, hey, you guys are trash, and like this place sucks, and I've done all this stuff, and you guys don't appreciate it, and you're just all a bunch of losers and everything. So she's good to talk for them, and she's not as good as she was, back in the day, but she's still pretty good. And then you get Raquel and Rhea Ripley who can just come in and just be the enforcers. That would be Damage Control. And it's like, you need to have big beefed up women to come in and beat the crap out of these other girls. Okay. We had Alba Fire. She got the Mist. Isla Dawn. Well, I like Isla Dawn.
Yeah. Well, like I was actually interested in the match, which was Alba Fire versus Sol Ruca. I'm like, oh, this will be a good match. And then she got the Mist. Isla Dawn came out and misted her and then ran back laughing. And I'm kind of like, And then like now with Fire also get nailed with her arm in like the most ridiculous way possible. Like
I don't even understand how that happened. It's like
she put her arm in and she literally like she popped it in. So she didn't like put anything against it where it was like trapped. She just sort of like put it in there. And I'm like, okay, so now Alba Fire's holding it in there.
Yeah, like just.
And then she took the bat and hit the steps, and that was it. I'm like,
that was a weird spot. I don't know why.
Especially considering that the steel steps. That I agree, Brian. Probably, yeah.
She looks
good both ways. Neapolitan ice cream hairbo. That's.
I'm okay with whatever she decides to go with, but yeah, maybe there was some pictures of her with the normal hair.
She looks better without it. I agree. Like as a general attraction thing, but like she's so like I don't know. She's so cute. I don't know, but yeah, I don't get this because they always say, "Oh, you're getting hit with the big steel steps. You're getting destroyed." Well, wouldn't the steel steps like take the impact of the baseball bat hit? Why would that hurt her arm? I was completely confused by that entire thing. And then Alba Fire selling it as if her arm's broken. And I'm like, yeah, that could have been better.
Yeah. Hello, David. How's it going? I think this is the first time you've popped in. My friend, you're in Randy Orton. All right. Yeah, so Randy Orton, what's going on with Randy?
He had back injury.
Yeah, so those are back injury. You can't back, neck. There's no effort. If your knee gets hurt, and then let's say they fix it up, and your knee gets hurt again, it's not the end of the world. Back and neck, forget it. I don't know if he's ever coming back. No.
Probably, but I don't know when.
Look, this kind of thing, you got to leave it up to the doctors and they just have to see. The best thing to do is forget about Randy Orton, and then when he comes back, it'll be a surprise. Versus like waiting. Like, because I got pumped up for Cody Rhodes. I was getting into the Cody fever. People were like, yeah. So I was getting pumped up for him. Then he had that pectoral injury. I'm like, well, what the shit? So now he's gone, but he is going to come back because you can come back from that, right?
So have you heard
the lower back fusion? Oh, dude, man, come on.
Yeah, that's
crazy.
So the rumor for WrestleMania, so it's 2 nights.
Yeah.
So the rumor is, I think it's Raw. One of the two for the championship is going to be Seth Rollins versus either Drew McIntyre or Cody for the belt. You notice the name I didn't say?
What, Roman?
Yeah.
Why?
Because he won't have both belts the same by WrestleMania.
What? Oh my God.
The second night is going to be Roman versus The Rock. If they can get The Rock. If they can't get him and they gotta do it by Royal Rumble. If they don't get The Rock, it's going to be Roman versus Cody for the belt.
Yeah, but The Rock, he might be doing Black Adam too.
Oh, yeah.
That's that. I fucked them. Oh, that's another one I gotta get. I gotta get my buddy.
You gotta get Dice. You gotta get Dice.
Dice man. Dice. I gotta clip one of those. All right, so let's see. I like Sol Ruka a lot, man. She did nothing when that's right. Thanks for being a lousy baby face.
That is a great point, Joe. I was thinking that. I'm like, where's Sol Ruka? Wow. Is she afraid of the mist? Or was she too busy doing flips in the corner?
Hey, David, thanks for subscribing to me, buddy. I just got the notification. I appreciate that, man. That's awesome. I just because David just popped in the chat and I was like, new subscriber, David. I'm like, what the heck? That's like he just popped in. Thanks, brother. I appreciate that. Man, I like Sol Ruka.
I do too.
It's mostly because of her looks, but like,
yes.
but she's
that was
really
lame.
cool. But
that was lame. Like she was standing there eating a hot dog. Shawn Michaels did come back.
It
took him how many years? Was it 4?
2 billion. I pre-ordered it on 4K, so I don't know.
Well, I mean, does popularity matter anymore with the DC guys? Like, everyone wanted Henry Cavill back as Superman. That ain't happening. So I don't talk about DC anymore because I don't know what they're doing. I'm just waiting for them to say what they're doing because speculation now is just, they're going to do Henry. No. They're going to, no. Wonder Woman 3. No.
It'll be all gone. Like whatever they already filmed, they'll bring it out. Shazam and Flash and Blue Beetle. And then that's it. And then it's all going to be scrapped. I haven't done any DC or DCEU or DCU or whatever MCU videos in a while because I don't care. I'm at the point where it's like, it comes out, I'll watch it because it's a DC or Marvel movie, and I'll judge it for itself right there. Because I'm on episode 5 of House of the Dragon, and I'm on episode 2 of Andor, and I'm on episode 2 of Lord of the Rings, Rings of Power, and I'm on episode 2 of Bad Batch, and I'm on episode, it's like House of the Dragon is 10 episodes. After 5 episodes, they recast some of the actresses because they grew up. That's how fast that show is. Like, it's like these characters need to be recast because they've already grown up. Like, it's like episode 5 and this girl is now an older woman because it moves. Like episode 1, like so much happens and you're like, whoa. Like, it's episode 5 now. I can't even explain what's going on. It's too long. There's so many intricate things happening that you'll lose your mind. My wife, I was watching episode 3. She looked up. I was like, don't even bother. I said, you need to watch all of this and take notes because you're like, whoa, what? Like, it's so fast that literally people have grown up. Like, there's the one actress who plays Rhaenyra. She grew up in 5 episodes. She grew up to need to be recast. And you're like, they recast her. You're like, oh my God, because she's that much older, because it's so fast moving. Like, one episode is like a year or something. It's fast. The book is fast though. The book is also fast. So yeah. All right. So we're going to talk about Indy Hart. Let's catch up here. Shawn Michaels back, Matt Smith. Yeah. Well, older. Well, his hair is different.
Okay.
But older people don't age. Like, if you're going to cast someone me as 15, and then you're going to cast someone me as 40, well, I can play 30, 40, 50, right? But the person who plays 15 can't play 30, right? You know what I mean? Like, that's why they recast, because it starts getting a bit more. Plus, I'm sure there's going to be more nudity and stuff, so they're going to have they can't have the youngins. All right, we had Indy Hartwell versus Elektra Lopez. Brass Knucks came in and she nailed her. Pretty shocking.
Was so happy to see the Brass Knucks come back. I'm like, the Brass Knucks were one of my favorite foreign objects.
Yes.
Foreign object. They hit her with a foreign object. I'm like, pretty sure that was made in the USA, but okay. But like, I love Brass Knucks. She hid it in her bra. Like her, I was just like, you wouldn't see. I was like, can I see the Brass Knucks in there? I'm like, I can't. Like,
well, she's
voluptuous.
It's a full, it's a fully loaded. It's top heavy.
It's more than a handful. Let's put it that way. So yeah, it was a nice hard-hitting affair. Yeah, he had to retire, and then about 4+ years. There you go. So again, Randy Orton may come back in 4 years and do an Edge type run. I don't know, but like, it's not good when it's the back or the neck, as J-Man said. Those are 2 killers.
Yep.
especially for a wrestler, where those are two things taking the impact. Anything in the upper back, the lower back, the shoulder, the neck, those are the high impact areas. So
you're slammed.
Slammed.
How many times are you slammed on your back in a wrestling match? Like 70? Like that's all that they take.
Randy Orton had that move where he did that backbreaker where he grabbed a guy and he hit him with his lower back. Night after night after night for years. That's why it has lower back fusion.
Guys had problems with their butt doing leg drops constantly.
I was about to say Becky Lynch should not be leg dropping too much because she's going to have problems. She's going to need hip replacement surgery.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot to buy some cheap toys. I'm going to go to Walmart and buy some cheap wrestling toys. But yeah, like that, like going like this, it's like right here.
Yeah.
It's like, it's like, it's like, man, shit, forget about Becky Lynch doing a leg drop. I mean, I've sat down in the movie theater and I've gone a little too fast. And I'm like, oh shit, right? Never mind doing a leg drop, for Christ's sakes.
Yeah, I agree, Joe. She looked good. She looks good. I love Indy Hartwell. I am an unapologetic Indy Hartwell fan. Yeah. I love Indy Hartwell just beating people up. That is me when I watch Indy Hartwell, for sure. That is not me when I watch Indy Hartwell, but anyhow.
No, that's Elektra Lopez.
That's Elektra Lopez. But I love Indy Hartwell. Like, she just comes in and she beats the crap out of people. It's very no nonsense, and I love people like that.
Yeah, I like that too.
As soon as Elektra Lopez pulled out the brass knucks, I was instantly a fan. I was like, yes, brass knucks are underrated as a weapon in wrestling, and I want to see them return.
My favorite is Sensational Sherry's purse.
Yes,
that's my absolute favorite foreign object. We should do our top 5 foreign objects. Sherry's purse is 100%. I like the King's Scepter.
Yes,
that's a good one.
Elizabeth Shue.
Elizabeth Shue, the actress, and Elizabeth's shoe as both shoes.
And using both as a foreign object.
Yeah, both Elizabeth's shoe and Elizabeth's shoe. I'm gonna try to think of my top foreign objects and write that. Like the bag of popcorn has to be.
Yeah, stop sign.
I do like the stop sign. Sherry's purse is my favorite. It's like he got hit with the purse, and it's like the guy's out cold, and he's like, "What the hell is in their brain?" And Bobby Heenan's like, "Oh, it's her beauty supplies." Her beauty. And it's like a brick. It's like literally a brick.
A Lawrence Welk record, I think, was used in ECW.
Oh my god! Elizabeth
and a kayak.
A kayak.
Yes, Elizabeth took off her skirt, and Ted DiBiase and Andre the Giant. Obviously, had never seen a woman with just in her lower underwear. Because they just stood there and like didn't know what to do for literally 30 seconds while Macho Man and Hulk were shaking hands outside the ring.
Like, hasn't Macho Man seen all the goods? Like,
yeah. So he didn't care. He was too busy shaking Hogan's hand. But DiBiase and Andre the Giant literally had no idea what to do. They're like, they were just standing there like, what is going on? Like, I literally read an article about it where like they were describing like Andre tore his hair and that. I'm like, it was the most like ridiculous over the top reaction to Elizabeth taking off her skirt. I just watched her. And then on the second viewing, I watched the other guys. And then on the third viewing, I went back to watching her.
All right. And subsequent viewing. Did you see any of the I don't know, I was watching this Andre the Giant thing. And this is brutal. Do you know where he had to use the bathroom?
Where?
He can't sit on a toilet. He'd break it. So he would do a number 2 in the bathtub.
Oh my God.
Because where else could he go? And then he'd have to run the shower. I know we shouldn't be laughing, but I was just like, so Jake the Snake Roberts was telling us all the big. I was listening to Jake the Snake tell all the big Andre the Giant stories, and it'd be like Andre the Giant would fart, and it would be 1 minute of continuous farting. Like, just think if you're like,
yeah,
right? It's like, you might have like a 3-second one. Is there like 40 seconds? I think this thing would be like, oh shit.
It's like guys literally got blown out of the room.
We literally lost 2 viewers. Come back, guys. Okay, we're come back.
We won't talk about Andre the Giant number 2 anymore.
We lost 2 viewers instantaneously. They're like, F this. Okay, we got one back. Come back. We're not talking about it anymore. Come back. Oh my god. Come on, guys. I didn't have an internet free porn back there. Yeah. Yeah, I know. Oh god.
Well, hell, I was. They said he used to put everything.
Brian, we just lost the one guy that came back. One of the viewers came back, and I was like, okay, we're not talking to him. Brian, okay, he's out. Oh my god.
All right. Awesome.
Okay, so and then we had we talked about Saul Ruka and Alba Fire. Oh no, then so wait, what happened there? We talked about that, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so was that it for NXT?
No, we had didn't we have something else?
Okay, I've lost my mind because I wrote Saul Ruka versus Alba Fire and then Isla attacked. But that was the second. Was that the second? Yeah, no, that is when she attacked. Okay, because she got the Mr. Eyes earlier. I'm sorry. What happened was she got the Mr. Eyes earlier. Then she was cleared for the match. And that's when we skipped. Because we actually kind of skipped. Because then there was the actual Indy Hartwell match.
Right.
Then there was the Saul Ruka match, which then got into. So yeah, that's it. NXT's done.
Oh, I want to talk about the Chase U thing, like the big lineup to give
him with the presents.
That was I was laughing through that entire thing.
It's Chase U is pretty funny.
Chase U is hilarious. I love like just the enthusiasm of the Thea Hall. Like she is excited for everything. She's like, oh, and he's like, oh, it's like, oh, he. What is it? He doesn't want I'll take this up for him because you and then like he was super like what the hell and all. I don't know, man.
And they all got him. What was he allergic to? They all got him the same.
Yeah, they all got him the same thing. He says I'm allergic to it. If like peanuts or something, I have no idea. But like, I don't know. I was laughing through the entire thing. I did not stop laughing through the entire thing. I think Chase U is genius. It is completely ridiculous. I love it.
It is pretty funny. All right, well, let's get on to SmackDown. So now we're going to talk about some SmackDown stuff. Really, we could start with Lacey. There's a Lacey Evans thing. She's coming back finally.
Yeah,
and sharpens iron. And
the voiceover's like, you must destroy every woman in the women's locker room. Like, okay. Right. So this is why I'm hoping she does. She attacks everyone and just becomes this mega heel who doesn't need anyone. And she just comes in and attacks people and takes what she wants. We need that Lacey Evans because we need a Lacey Evans who is actually, if you're going to do it as she's been training and she's been in this big gladiator thing with the Marines, that's the Lacey Evans I want to see.
I really like Lacey Evans a lot, not just because she shouted me out and she's interactive with everybody and she talks to people, but like, I like her. I mean, like, I have been following her on her thing, and she does respond to people, and she's pretty cool, and so there's that. But like, I just like I like this military angle. I just wish that they've got it. She has to come in and just kick the crap out of people now. I don't know. They just got to do something more with her. So we'll see what happens. And there was also Emma, who confronted Scarlett Bordeaux.
I was weirded out by this because I didn't understand the context, but I am excited to see Scarlett in the ring because I haven't seen her in the ring. Though she's supposed to be from Romania, and I listened to her talk. I'm like, she's not from Romania, dude.
Yeah, I don't know. That's just a character thing, right?
Yeah, like I listened to her. I'm like, I think she's from Chicago or something. But like, I really like Karrion Kross a lot.
Yeah.
But I'm very interested to see Scarlett wrestle. I've never seen Scarlett wrestle.
Well, I'm interested just to see her at all.
That is true too.
Like, man.
Yeah.
All right. I just want Lions to squash Zoe Stark and move on to a better program, hopefully. I cannot find a GIF for whatever reason that StreamYards will take. So I'm stuck with my
go-to.
I only have that. That's what I got. But follow her on all of her social media. It's like she posts stuff all the time. Okay. So we had the gauntlet match. So I'm just gonna read out. I'll just read everything out and then we can talk about it. So we had Emma and Zia Lee. And Zia Lee had some pretty good. Oh, I guess we'll get to that. But Zia Lee won. Then she went up against Tegan, and Zia Lee won again. Then she went up against Raquel, which we knew Raquel would win that. Raquel went against Liv, won. Raquel went against Sonya and won. Raquel went against Shayna and won. Right, so Raquel won the full thing. So it's going to be Raquel versus Ronda.
Mm-hmm.
So if we backtrack, I thought Zia Lee looked great, man, in this thing. And the commentators always say this shit, but this time they were really true. She had some of her kicks, man, were pretty pumped up. I was really kind of happy that she won against Emma. Actually, I kind of like Emma, but like Zia Lee was awesome, and she beat Tegan. I was like, nice. And then Raquel, we knew Raquel was gonna, win that. So that there was not that. But Zia Lee, I thought did pretty cool, man. She was the most impressive out of all of these people that came on this thing. But I thought this was like not too bad. Like, I mean, it's tough with Raquel had to sell that injury, which is irritating because it's just like there's times where like your body gives you away. Right? You know what I'm saying? It's like you can't, this isn't a film, right? Where you're like, okay, Steve, you've done some acting. So it's like, okay, Steven, okay, you're going to have your wrists hurting. So you just remember, okay, my right hand wrist is hurting. So you remember that. And then it's like action. And then cut. Okay. You have to maintain that the whole time. It's tough. Like there's parts where she's slipping. I'm like, I can almost see the other arm's about to come help, right? It's like,
yeah.
And realistically, that wouldn't happen.
No.
Right. So I don't know. I mean, what do you think? I mean, it was the best that they could do with this dumb angle that they have with the arm. I don't know. I don't know. What are your thoughts?
So backtracking to the beginning.
Yeah.
I actually think Emma has the perfect ass.
Yeah.
I was looking at it. I'm like, this literally is like everyone's like, what ass? What would you consider the perfect ass? Exactly. Right? Emma has literally the perfect ass. I was looking at it, I'm like, this might.
Let's see if the internet agrees. I'm doing this.
Post.
I'm doing this for.
For scientific inquiry.
For scientific inquiry. Yeah, no, yeah. I can start a poll. Does I'll put behind. Ask the community. Community, it's on you. And I've been canceled. So, okay, awesome. Well, guys, that's been fun. But you know what's actually, while we've been talking, I've gotten like 5 subscribers. We need to change our content.
Yeah.
We need to be focusing more on this part, not that. Anyway, so yes, Emma.
Yeah, but wrestling wise, Emma wrestles like she's underwater. Like she is slow.
Right.
In running, in reactions, in pretty much everything. Like I think Zia Lee kicking her in the head was actually a mercy.
Right.
Because other than that, like Emma just does not look polished in the ring, which is surprising because she's a vet. They've made a big deal about saying she was one of the leaders of the women's revolution.
Right.
She doesn't look like in the ring. It looks like a lot of the females have surpassed her.
Right.
Yeah,
I think so. Like she's okay. I'm not like super like wow, you know. I think Leanne's she needs a couple more years. Remain roster possible. Yeah, I mean,
I agree with all of that.
All that. Yeah,
I agree with both comments. I agree with everything said. Zia Lee versus Tegan Knox. I really like Tegan Knox.
Yeah.
But it's kind of like when Zia Lee won again, I was kind of like, I want Zia Lee to go farther now because she did look so good in those two matches.
And they did reveal or confirm.
They did confirm it was her who kicked Tegan Knox.
It was her, yeah.
Raquel winning. Raquel's only good Tahana bomb on the night was against Zia Lee.
Yeah.
Or the other two were sloppy, probably because she was trying to do it with one arm, which just doesn't look as good. I liked Liv's Morgan's match with her a lot. I love Liv yelling, "I'm sorry, Raquel," as she's beating the crap out of her.
Yeah, that was cool.
Liv is definitely. I know there's going to be people who say she had her chance. She shouldn't get another one. But I'm kind of like, she's one of the more interesting female competitors. I kind of would like to see her back on Raw, to be honest with you.
I love Liv Morgan. I don't care.
Yeah.
She's the one who I'm just gonna fight for. If people don't like her, I'm gonna fight for her. I think she's really cool. Like just in person, I've seen all of on her posts and all that. Like, I think she looks good. I think she's very cute and she's fun and she cares about wrestling. So I like Liv Morgan. I don't know.
I do miss the whole laughing while in pain thing. She doesn't.
Yeah, that was cool
anymore. Maybe because some people were thinking, well, if Liv Morgan can laugh at pain, I can, and then jumps off the roof and splinters some ribs. I have no idea. The match against Sonya Deville was a non-entity. It was just painful to watch.
Right.
Sonya gets a few good moves in, but generally she's booked to be a jobber. She seems to realize she's booked to be a jobber, and she doesn't really try a hell of a lot because she knows inevitably she's going to lose.
Right.
The whole thing with Shayna was bizarre. Shayna ripped off her arm and then jumped on it a lot or kicked it a lot and then yelled, and then Raquel rolled her up and pinned her. Again, you position Shayna and Ronda at the top of this thing, and you want them in the ring as little as possible. It just looks freaking weird to me.
Right.
So we'll see. We'll see if one-arm Raquel, who beat 4 women, is formidable enough to beat Ronda Rousey for the belt.
There's no way. There's no way Raquel can do that with one arm if that's the storyline they're pushing. That's outrageous.
I know. I agree. I do like Raquel a lot. I love the, the spinning where she goes up on the second turnaround, spins and elbows, or just falls on the opponent, and they say it's an elbow. I really like Raquel. I think she's a terrific, but yeah, she does. Brian, I swear she has the permanent job squad boo-boo face. That's the perfect way to describe it.
I like Sonya Deville.
I like her, but she doesn't win ever.
Right.
And the one arm thing was getting annoying because there was one, I think it was Sonya, she tried to grab the bad arm and pull it, and then there was this whole strength thing with Raquel, and I was kind of like, Raquel couldn't do that for broken elbow. There's just no way.
Right. Steve, there's 3 votes, and everyone is saying no. That they've gone. Okay. I'm gonna stop that. I'm gonna end that poll. Can I do another poll? Let me do another poll. Let's do. All right. Let's try this one. I did better. Which one better behind Liv Morgan or Emma?
That'll be interesting.
Let's see what happens. Let's see what we're.
All right. The question will be inevitably, who would you guys consider has a better behind? To me, Emma has pretty much
4 views. We got our viewers back.
Best booty right now. Well, we had to stop talking about Andre the Giant and that whole thing and talk about women's behind.
Let's see, what's her name? Toni Storm.
Toni Storm. She was on wrestling for a while. The main roster for a while. She was going to feud with Charlotte, and then she got fired for.
Oh, that is a good contender. What's the other one?
Who's the other one?
Jamie Hayter. I can't find a picture. So that's a TBA. Well, let's see what the polls are like so far. Oh, we got 3 votes. Everyone is saying Liv. Who is my vote as well? I think the problem is that Emma doesn't have the following. It's like
she doesn't have the following. I agree.
Yeah, so I actually watched some of Sonya Deville's matches. There weren't very many. And they weren't too they like it was I think she lost them, so it's like they were okay. But I would have liked to have seen I like this didn't happen on any of the shows that we're talking about really, but I like Ronda and Shayna together. I think that's a badass. I like them being bullies. I don't know. I think it's kind of cool. I like Ronda Rousey anyways. I know that's like she's a controversial figure or polarizing figure. I liked her. I didn't care about her when she first came around because I just didn't get the hype. But going back and I went back through her whole career and watched even like interviews and just her getting up to it. And she is awesome. Her wrestling ability needs to be better. That's mostly up to her and her trainers and what she wants to do. But I don't think it's trash, and I don't think it's hurting anybody like Nia Jax would hurt people or Ahmed Johnson would hurt people. If you're hurting people, that's the worst.
If you're hurting people and it looks bad.
Right, then that's right. Mark Merrow, but kickball. Yeah.
Ronda Rousey, the disappointment I've had with Ronda Rousey is she didn't try to learn wrestling moves. She has one wrestling move, really.
Right.
Which is the Piper's Pit, which is the Samoan drop. Other than that, it's arm bars and judo throws and, stuff like that. Like, there's nothing there where, like, body slam, clothesline, like the basics, she doesn't do.
She's doing the moves that she does in her actual matches.
She actually does.
So I don't know if that's on purpose. Like, are they saying, well, this is the Ronda you're getting. She's a fighter, so here's what you're getting. Like, realistically, she would destroy all these people.
Yeah.
Right. And it's like if we had Ronda, like, pre like Holly Holm and pre Amanda Nunes and all these other, she would be like obliterating these people.
Oh yeah, there's no doubt about it. It's just that it's like having a boxer.
Yeah, just doing boxing moves.
Yeah, in a like an MMA thing. It's just like you're doing one move and you're really good at those moves.
Right.
But it's a different form. It's like expecting that a filmmaker is a good author. Right. Or expecting an author is a good filmmaker. It's a different medium to me. And in my mind, she's just doing the MMA stuff. So are you, the insinuation is that the MMA style is better than the wrestling style? Like, everyone else is doing wrestling.
Right.
That's why it stands out.
Yeah.
Like even Shayna Baszler can do wrestling moves.
Yes. She's a bit stiff, but she can still do them.
Yeah. Where Ronda is just, she has the basic moves I've seen in every match with her.
Right.
And I'm just like, throw a clothesline.
Yeah.
Body slam. Do a vertical suplex. Can you do a vertical suplex? Can you do a DDT?
Right.
Like the fundamentals, I expect that any wrestler can come in and do.
Right.
She has not demonstrated ever, except the Samoan drop. That's the only move I've seen her do.
Yeah, I mean they got to work on it. What can you do? What happened to Dewdrop?
I don't know. I assume she's hanging out in main event or off television, totally being repackaged.
I was like looking up some of the whoa. Oh no, how much did we pay for our damage control autograph? I think it was like 70 or 80 or something, wasn't it? Or because it's like 150 now. They got some back. We didn't pay that much, I don't think. Or did we pay that much? Maybe we did.
No, we didn't pay that much. I think we paid 120.
Oh, so we had some. Yeah, okay, so that is the same price. Because I'm looking at some of the new stuff they have. They've got some other stuff on the store now. So I was looking. Mandy Rose is gone. Gigi Dolan has her own thing. Like it used to be Toxic Attraction had a thing.
Yeah.
And it was like Mandy Rose had all of the Toxic Attraction stuff on her. So if you'd have to go to Mandy Rose and that's where you found the Toxic Attraction stuff, but that's off the store. So now we know it's like when you're out of the store, it's official. Like that's it. That's why I just saw that Dewdrop. She's got a section, but there's nothing. There's nothing that it doesn't say. It doesn't have a picture of her or anything. Carmella, what's going on with Carmella? I'm just looking at the roster here.
She has she's out for concussion.
Charlotte should be back pretty soon, right? Is Charlotte back in time for she'll be
back for Rumble.
She'll be back for Rumble, yeah.
I assume Cody will be back for Rumble. I expect Edge to be back for Rumble.
Oh, Cora Jade has her own section now. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm just looking at some of the other, like who's got the store is the best place to get all this information. Because you're like, hey, this person's gone. Oh, that's it. They're off the store. Who was I just thinking? Oh, Scarlett has her own. I was just thinking about somebody. Who was I thinking about just now? Yeah. So what do you think? I don't know. I'm not sure about this Alexa Bliss versus or her being part of this Bray Wyatt thing. Bray Wyatt is boring, and now there's that uncle. I don't know. I know Bray Wyatt's like super popular, but like it ain't happening for me, man. I'm just like whatever.
Yeah, like the thing with Bray Wyatt is I don't know why they haven't had him wrestle. He's been back since Survivor Series?
Yeah.
Before then? Clash at the Castle? I can't remember when he came back.
Yeah.
Like it was just him walking through, he came through that door and whatnot.
Yeah.
It was at the end of one of the pay-per-views, which probably I can't remember.
Like he's talking his storyline, but firstly, I know you don't have a split personality in real life, and I know this is all fake, so let's get on with it.
Yeah, they're really drawing this out, and I think Joe mentioned the really bizarre thing is they're choosing him to do this against LA Knight, who is like, I don't think he's got the heat where it's like we want to see this. Like he's attacked the cameraman. I'm like, right. Okay, I don't understand. Like, is Bray Wyatt being controlled now? Like, I don't know what's going on. Right. But it's taken far too long for them to get to the punchline, in my opinion.
Right.
The one thing I'll say is at least Alexa Bliss has some sort of thing going on other than, she's like, when I came back, I was from the psychiatry thing or whatever, the sessions, I was a shell of myself. I'm like, yeah, you have been a shell of yourself. You've just been very vanilla.
Right.
So I'm glad she's doing something, but I'm like, how much longevity does being part of Bray Wyatt's, I don't know, posse do you have? Especially when he's on another show. Let's see. I don't know. I don't know. We'll see where it goes. Oh, he wrestled at the Garden?
Shit.
Yeah. I agree with that. Yep. Don't have the monitor in there. As soon as the Bray Wyatt symbol shows up, she'll be possessed. I agree.
This is like those silly horror movies, which, where it's like you're possessed by something. It was like, okay, then don't do that thing or whatever.
Yeah,
it's
don't turn on the VCR.
Or whatever. Yeah, well, The Ring, my wife loved the Ring novels. They're Japanese novels. So she loved the novels. There's 3 books, I think, and she loved all 3. But I'm watching this movie. I'm like, I don't look at the tape. I don't get it, so it's like, a screen will possess her. It's like, okay, I don't know. I did like her smashing Bianca Belair. I thought that was pretty funny.
Yeah. Because it came out of nowhere because of the angle.
Yes.
Like you didn't even see Alexa pick it up and break it over her head. You just saw sort of like it in the upper left-hand corner, and then that was it.
Yeah, I do like where I like where people get like nailed, just randomly nailed, and it's like, whoa, and they just get nailed. It's like, I love that. That's super funny to me.
Random acts of violence are hilarious.
Yes. So I appreciate the randomness of it, but I don't know. It's like,
yeah, I'm very like, what's this going to be now? Is it going to be more interesting? Let me put it to you that way. Right. Alexa Bliss needs a gimmick change. That is 100%. What are they going to give her though?
Yeah, I don't know.
Like, she's going to be possessed. Like, that was interesting when she was part of Bray Wyatt's, like she was partnering with him or in an alliance with him. But the thing that people forget too is that Alexa Bliss was a lot like Rhea Ripley when she was doing that, where she didn't wrestle a lot. She was now accompanying him to the ring, getting involved,
Right.
It's okay if she can be possessed by Bray Wyatt and yet still separate, that she can wrestle on her own. When she starts accompanying him to the ring over and over again, you've just taken another female competitor out of the pool. Right. You're not using a lot of them to begin with. So.
And that's kind of my thing. Like, I don't want her to be attached. Because I do think like Rhea Ripley is funny with the Judgment Day, and she kind of is okay. And the stuff with Dominic is hilarious. Something happened on Christmas too, and he got taken away by the cops. And he's like, "No, don't let them take me away." And I'm like, I don't know. I'm finding this to be very funny. Just because it's just so weird. But yeah, it's
Extreme Rules. Okay.
Yeah, okay, Extreme Rules. There you go.
No.
Yeah.
I agree with that. But Alexa Bliss we need women's storylines. Other than whatever's happening with Damage Control or what's happening with Ronda and Shayna. We need what happens in NXT.
Right. Oh, I lost my poll. Oh no, Liv Morgan won.
Yeah, I figured she would.
But I that's crazy. Well, we didn't do Lacey.
No, that's pretty good. But that's okay. Like, everyone will come around to Emma eventually.
Yes. Hashtag no. Okay.
She needs to just not wrestle underwater so much, and then I think people appreciate her more.
Oh my God, that came out of nowhere. Well, so Raw was just a recap thing, recapping the year's best or whatever and worst and whatever. I mean, it was all right. I didn't really, I fast forward, I PVR'd it and fast forward it just to see. And they talked to Bianca, which I mean, I was going to take notes. I was like, there's nothing to really.
I didn't watch a minute of it. I don't like recap shows. I've seen everything, so I don't need you to recap for me.
Right.
So I don't watch them. They're just,
right.
To me, it's hey, thanks for, it's a show for people who haven't been watching all year.
Right.
And I have been, so I don't need it.
Yeah, I saw the matches, right? So
it's like when we were in school. Mickie James has a good one. I will say, Joe. That's a hard one to argue with. But that's like when you were in school and, you had that week where you had to study for.
How did we forget that?
How did we forget that? That's that week in school where you had exams the week before exams, and it was just a study week. And then they would have class, but the only people who didn't show up to class all year.
Right.
And talk to a teacher about what was on the exam. Everyone else was at home studying.
What's on the exam? It's like, did we learn anything? I remember when I took my grade 13, because we had grade 13 in Canada, my grade 13 advanced physics exam, and I started flipping through it. I'm like, okay. It's like, I was like 5 pages or something. I look at the next page, I'm like, okay. I got to page 3, I'm like, did we learn any of this? Like, what is this? And then I start to look around, like, am I in the right? I'm like, yeah, that guy's was in my class. I'm like, okay, my buddies are all here. Like my stream, it's like, I'm like, holy shit, I don't know what's going on. And I remember the biggest one was there's a pendulum, and you have to figure out, like, if the pendulum is moving, you can figure out, like, based on, like, where you started and where you let go, where it's going to, like, how much it'll go back, stop, and all that. And I was like, okay, I knew how to do that. And then it was like, but there's now 2 pendulums going. I was like, we did not learn that. So literally I calculated it for 1 pendulum, and then at the very end, I'm like, times 2. It's like, no. My favorite thing is find X and someone circled X. Like, it's like, it's like XY, it's like XYZ. So they give you, it's like the hypotenuse is X. Right? So it's like find X and someone circled it and put, here it is.
I hope they got points for ingenuity.
Oh my God. Yeah, I don't know why I took all the advanced science and math courses. Do I look like a science and math guy? But I'm telling you, I took advanced physics, advanced calculus, advanced chemistry, advanced chemistry. What the hell am I supposed to do with that? That's not going to help me determine how to do Scorpion's fatality in Mortal Kombat, is it?
I stopped taking math and science as soon as I could stop taking.
Yeah. Oh, they're like, you don't have to take it anymore. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna take it forever. And then it's like, I'm like, why am I taking? Like, literally, I'm sitting in this advanced physics. Even you have known me for 20 years. Has my advanced physics knowledge ever come into play? Wait a minute, guys. You need to know the centripetal force. I'm here. It's just like, okay. And it's like, when have I ever used that in art? It's just so funny because it's like, why would it's the weirdest thing that I took all these courses. It just doesn't seem like it's me. It's funny too, because everyone's like, oh, Jay's a geek and all that. I was like, no, I was a nerd. Like, I had a scientific calculator and I thought it was really neat, and the tangent and the cotangent. And it's like, oh, there's a parabola. Oh, how are we gonna graph that parabola? And it's like, why am I taking? I think it was that grade 13 advanced physics final exam. I'm like, what have I done? Why have I taken all of these courses? And then I promptly ignored all of that. I'm like, yeah, I'm like a writer. This is the most random. I'm like the most random person of all time.
I dropped. Oh,
that's it. Yeah, maybe it was that.
Brian knows.
Brian knows. Thanks, Brian. So yeah, there's two pendulums. I was like, yeah, time. I don't remember. This is like 25 years ago. I'm like, yeah, it's like times two. Like,
I literally, yeah, it's crazy because when I was in high school, I remember I dropped math and science as soon as it was no longer compulsory. And they actually called me into the guidance counselor and they're like, are you sure you want to do this? I'm like, I am never going to go into the sciences or math field because I have no interest in either. So they're like, okay, as long as you know. I'm like, yeah, I'm never taking this stuff, guys. I don't care. I'm not pursuing a role or a career in either the maths or sciences, and I didn't.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, remember in Breakfast Club, he's like, I think it was yeah, oh God, there's Judd Nelson talking to the janitor, and he's like, oh, because, and then he points to what's the guy, the nerd. What's the nerd in?
What was his name? Philip Michael Hall or whatever.
Yeah, and he's like, I don't remember what the character's name is. Like, but he's interested. He goes, what does it take to be a janitor? Because Brian over here is interested in pursuing a career in the custodial arts.
The custodial arts, man.
That's the best line ever, man. It's so funny. Yeah, it's like, oh, I do like that. All right, let's see. We can cover Math Olympics team. Oh,
yeah.
No, I know. I'm like, I noticed that because you're looking around. You're like, oh my God, this is like the worst place to be in the world. It's like
this is the sausage party to end all sausage parties.
Yeah, well, and it's like, yeah, this is never gonna be cool.
It's like joining the chess club.
I like chess. I was me and my friend Jay, the other Jay, were the best chess players in the school up until I think like grade 9. When I went into grade 9, I dropped it. Up till then, we were like Jay and I would have epic games that would last a while. But if it wasn't Jay, I would destroy. And I had a guy flip the board on me once. Yep, he flipped the board on me. And this was like a guy who was like a little bit more aggressive, obviously, if he's flipping the board. And he's like, oh, let's play. I was like, okay. And I was like, crushed him, and he friggin' flipped out, and he flipped the board on me. I was like, holy crap. But anyway, that's my chess story. I did like the Queen's Gambit. That was a good show. But anyways, all right. Well, we've done about an hour and a half. I think that's pretty good. There's not really much more to talk about. So this Thursday we're going to be talking about horror movies. So Steven and Sean are going to be there, and also Hungry Boy is going to be there from Clobberin Times streams. He's on stream sometimes. A lot of times he's in kind of the background chatting. He's in the chat. So he doesn't do too many streams on his own, but he's coming on. He's like, do you like horror movies? I'm like, of course. So he's like, oh, let's talk about horror. I'm like, come on, let's talk about horror. You don't need to. I mean, I could end this stream and go right into a stream talking about horror movies. So we're gonna do that on Thursday, and that's it for this week. And then next week we're gonna do our Conan. We'll be back 1 week from today to talk more wrestling, and then we'll do our Conan stream, and then take a break. And then the week after that, I think is the Tarzan stream, which is going to be a lot of fun. Got the guy who wrote the book. It's like, I love saying, I literally got the guy who wrote the book on Tarzan in film to come on and talk about Tarzan in film. So there is no one more of an expert. He wrote 2 books on Tarzan. And that's 2 more books than I've written, and that's 2 more books than I've read. So we're going to see how that goes. That should be a lot of fun. But I think that'll be it. So Steve's got a new book out. The link to his books are in the description. So right now it's on Kindle.
Paperback's out, hardcover's out.
Oh, they're both out?
Yeah.
Okay, so they're both out, so that's good. And they're on every Amazon, right?
Yep.
It's Amazon.com. So you can look up Stephen Ball, Ball, if that's his full name. You can look up on Amazon, or you can follow the links in the description of this video. And I think all of your books are on there, right?
Yeah, all my books are on.
Okay. So the newest one is Madhouse.
Yeah.
So check that one out. Well, that one's a lot of short stories. So if you're looking for just like some creepy short stories, like more horror, but not like, it's not the Terrifier or something.
No,
like
it's
that.
not. It's not slasher.
It's horror-ish. It's in the more horror creepy genre.
Yeah.
Versus like Friday the 13th kind of.
Yeah, it's
horror.
not Slasherville or anything. It's it's moody. It's different types of horror.
Right. So that one's called Madhouse. That's the one that's out now. So if you just want short stories, that's probably a good one to start with. You get because you got a lot of different stories. I like Stay of Execution, which we won't tell you what it is, but that was the one Steve and I wanted to make that into a movie because we thought it was a very strong idea. So that's a good one. That's probably the best one on there, for my favorite one on there, I guess. But there are some on there that I have not read before, so I haven't read all of those yet. So there are some that I haven't read that I've never read. So right. So I'm just basing it off of what I previously read. But anyways, so that is it, guys. All right, thanks for joining, and we'll see you next time.
Hey friends, you've just been listening to J-Man, and he is the smartest person who ever lived. So make sure you like and subscribe.